team, and that is Willamette playing host to Southern Oregon. We'll take a look at all the scores in those games a little bit later on this afternoon. The Lutes here at 3-1 against Eastern Oregon at 2-2. BLU coming off their lone loss of the season, and the Mountaineers of Eastern Oregon coming off consecutive wins after losing 2 games on the road to begin the season. We'll be back to take a look at the starting lineups for both these teams and have today's opening kickoff from Sparks right after this. Seems like these pre-games get shorter every week. I'm trying to make sure we get all our commercials in by the time, I'm thinking I got one more commercial to get in. They already got the captains out there, so I better get it out of the way. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We are back just in time for the opening kickoff, which will come down to Leon McDaniels at the goal line up to the 10-15. McDaniels in the middle of the field breaks one tackle, then goes down at the 23-yard line. So that's where Eastern Oregon will start at their own 20.
Coming off that emotional win, so we'll see how they come out today.
Chuck Nivey is their senior quarterback. Tim Sykokin is the setback behind him. Hyatt's the Sykokin off the right side, and he bounces forward for a couple up to about the 24-yard line for the Lutes, so Jason Benny steps in. We'll check the Lutes starting defensive line at the moment. Here's Nivey pump faking, lobbing one out to his right, and it is caught out there, but basically no gain on as Hanrahan and Nivey are the setbacks, and here's Nivey rolling left, looking to throw, setting up, looking down the far sideline. It's batted in the air. It's intercepted by Devin Pierce at the 40-yard line. Pierce getting away from one tackler and finally going down at the 40. That ball was tipped in the air, and Pierce comes off with a pickoff. Now single setback is Aaron Binger behind him. Gimney to the right along with Todd McDevitt, and to the left goes David Weller. Here's the give right in the middle of Binger, breaks it through 35 down to the 33-yard line. Aaron Binger right up the gut.
To establish the running game on offense, sometimes it's also a question when you're passing the ball so well, you almost don't want to go back to the run.
Slot to the right, McDevitt inside of Weller to that side of the field. Tight end Paul Smith on the right, rolling left is Chad, setting up in the pocket, looks left, fires out there, got a man, incomplete down at the 10-yard line. Pass too tall for Kyle Brown.
Went over his head, so.
Third down and 3 Lutes here at the Eastern Oregon 33-yard line. Early in the game, no score with 12:54 to go. Split backs, Binger and Ian Handley in the backfield. Chad's going to quarterback keep it. He dives down inside the 30-yard line, down to about the 28. He'll have enough for the first down. Chad Johnson, 5 yards.
Being able to take a quarterback sneak for 5 yards.
Brown slotted far to the right. Mike Ramirez in the game now as the slot man inside of Brown to that side of the field to the right. And split backs once again. So a little bit of a different formation look for the Lutes this week. Ramirez goes in motion. He takes it on the sweep, right to left. Gets a block from Binger out in front. Cuts back 30, 25, 20. Ramirez to the 15, down to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, PLU. Mike Ramirez will take it in for 29 yards out.
And there, Steve, I was just thinking to myself that Mike Ramirez, probably the third option in that spot, because that's where normally Shipley Ennis plays in the Georgetown look. Then last week we saw Jeremy Force come in that spot, and Ramirez gets the ball.
Seen too much action, as a matter of fact, all this year, at least in the backfield. He has been a return man on kickoffs for the Lutes, but really his first backfield performance of the year. Here's the point after try by Scott Sorensen on the way, and it is good. And we've got a timeout, and it's Lutes.
I think he really enjoys trying to do things differently than the opponent may be preparing for. I'm sure Eastern Oregon spent all week on pass coverage and practice, and they come out and they put the ball on the ground and end up doing a nice job and very successful.
Here's the kickoff once again, and McDaniels will touch it down in the end zone 2 yards deep this time. So Eastern Oregon grabs coming in, and Brian Pritchett, a junior out of Valencia, California, at 5'10" and 162 on the other side. Again, Lutes defensively up front with Jason Benny, Chris Helfenstein, and Christian Foreman on the 3 up front. Here's the give inside to Sykokin. He doesn't have too much this time.
first game back, and he seemed a little tentative last week, and we'll see how he's going to play today.
Lute stacking it in with 6 guys up near that line of scrimmage right now. 2nd down and 8. Nibie with the long count. Here comes the blitz. Nibie flares it out. Got it. Complete at the 20-yard line and brought down immediately on the play. Mark Hanrahan with the kick.
Probably really talked about that before the game.
Slot to the left on 3rd down and long. Nibie rolls left to throw. Sets up. Now going to fire back to his right. Got it complete at the 35. It's his brother Phil Nibie up to about the 37-yard line.
Mid-30s so far this year, and they may even do some double coverage.
Slot right to the short side of the field now for Nibie as he has Brian Pritchett out to that side, and now he walks down the right side of the line to change the play at the line of scrimmage. Man in motion. Nibie raises up. Going to give it inside. Got inside Koken, who busts it through across right tackle. Over the 40 to the 45 and up to the 4.
Checked off and changed the play at the line of scrimmage, although they weren't huddling anyways, and a nice call by Chuck.
First down to the 48. They give outside a Hanrahan, who knifes it inside PLU territory at the 48-yard line. He'll have a pick. Be seeing a lot of action today with Benny moving up front. Benny normally at the linebacking position. Here's Nibie on 2nd down. Good protection, firing a bomb long up the left side, and it is incomplete. Almost picked off by Seth Berghoff, who played it a slot left this time. And again, Alcock is the single setback on 3rd down and about 6. Quick snap, Nibie look in, throw, fires it, caught it, complete inside the 35. That's Pritchett.
It wasn't apparent to me that he was even throwing the ball to Pritchett.
Lute's bouncing around. They're going to give inside Alcock. Finds some room. 30, 25. Puts his head down and drills a Lute defender at about the 23 as he goes.
Week with Linfield. Guys looking in the backfield and receivers being able to get down the field.
Pritchett split to the left. Setbacks are Alcock and Hanrahan in the eye. And they pitch to Hanrahan, who ducks it up the middle, and he blasts through at the 20 to the 15. Hanrahan all the way down to the 11-yard line.
Nibie just kind of turns around and tosses the ball back, except the running back, rather than being like 8 yards in an eye, is about 5 yards back.
Give inside to Alcock. He spins to the 5 and down to the 3-yard line. The big fullback in the backfield along with Phil Nibie, as they're in an offset eye now. 3 backs in there. Here's the pitch to Hanrahan. Tries to duck it inside. Spins inside the 3 down to about the 2. He's going to be close to down and about a half yard to go. Again, that offset eye backfield look with Nibie, Alcock, and Hanrahan in there. Long count by Nibie. Going to give inside. Touchdown, Eastern Oregon. As they gave it inside on a little counter.
Often do you have a guy wearing number 95 being given the ball on a handoff? So.
Crossed everybody up. Here's the point after try now by Chris Setzer. It's on the way, and it's good, and we're going to take a break. So I didn't have it. Play. He also, earlier this season, had an 84-yard punt. Here's Setzer's kick. End over end. It'll come down on the near side. And taken there by Chris Pitzer up the right sideline. Finds a little bit of room. 25-30. And Chris up to the 32-yard line. Chad Johnson brings it up. Chad coming off his best passing performance in his career last week with better than 440 yards and 3 touchdowns against Linfield. Binger and Hanley the setbacks. And here's the give off the left side. Same play to Ramirez. 35-40. Breaks into the open. 45-50. Ramirez down the sidelines. 30-25. Finally knocked out of bounds at the Eastern Oregon 20-yard. In fact, 76 yards on 2 carries now for Ramirez. Binger and Hanley the setbacks as they have 3 wide receivers. In motion goes McDevitt, left to right through the formation. Chad play faking. Stepping up. Down the middle. Got a man. Binger at the 10-5. Touchdown PLU. Chad Johnson dumps it right down the middle. Aaron Binger caught it in the open field at the 10-yard line and goes in untouched for 6.
Well, it kind of typifies PLU's version of offense versus a lot of these power teams that they end up playing. You got the
Ramirez for 47, then the touchdown run of a touchdown pass, that is, of 20 yards, and Scott Saracen's point after is right there. Going to be one of those games, huh? Last team with the ball is going to win again. And moments later, after Eastern Oregon had completed an 80-yard drive, Chad goes to Aaron Binger for 22 yards and another score. Here's the kickoff. It's going to bounce down there, going to high in the air. It's come down Hanrahan at his own 8-yard line to the 10 to the 15. And Hanrahan has nailed it about the offense for Eastern Oregon. They have a man split wide to the left. That's Brian Pritchett. Nivey up under center. Alcock the single setback. Man in motion now. They give to Alcock inside, and boy, did he just run into a wall. There wasn't a thing there that time in the first position, along with Jason Benny and Chris Helfenstein in that 3-4 look. Alcock again the single setback with a wingman on the right and 3 wide receivers. Here's Nivey looking right to throw, fires it, got it complete out there to Phil Nivey, but he's dumped behind the line at about the 14.
Had two catches that were loss of yards.
Big play here, 3rd down and 12 now from the 14. Nivey drops, he sets. He's got good protection. He's hit as he throws, fires up the left side. It's batted in the air, incomplete. Nice play by Devin Pierce. As Pierce
coach for PLU, and he said that they say, don't let the receivers, you got to stay as deep as the deepest guy, and Devin did a good job of that time.
Poor kick there by Chris Setzer, end over end. It'll go out of bounds at the 49-yard line, and Mountaineers
touchdown to open the scoring for Eastern Oregon.
Well, even though it wasn't a fumble-rooski, they had us stumped anyway on that one. I think they had everybody caught a little bit off guard. Here are the Lutes. Chad Johnson gives inside to Binger, and he gets nailed immediately. Loss of a couple.
How he's going to do this week.
Brown on the left, McDevitt on the right, split backs, Hanley and Binger as McDevitt goes in motion right to left through the formation. Chad play faking and rolling to throw. Looks for the bomb up the left side, has a man. Brown out there, incomplete down at the 15-yard line. That ball just slightly underthrown. 3rd down and 12, trip set to the right as they've got McDevitt, Brown, and also David Weller to that side of the field. McDevitt in motion. Chad in the shotgun, stepping up, getting some pressure, fires it, got it complete to Weller. Ball tipped away. They say it's incomplete now at the 41-yard line. Weller.
You can establish a running game. They'll do well in the passes also.
Penalty marker down as Berghoff hits a beauty. Mahan waving for the fair catch will take it at the Eastern Oregon 13-yard line. We'll see what the Berghoff will try it again as Mahan waits back at the Eastern Oregon 15-yard line. Seth averaging about 35 yards per punt so far this year. Good snap to him. A little bit of pressure on him. He gets it away. And again, a wobbly spiral. A nice one. Man under it. Now he's going to let it bounce inside the 50, inside the 10, down to the 5. And it's touched down at about the 1-yard line. Did they say the Lutes got to it? They did, I believe, inside the 1-yard line. No, they finally make the indication.
Knew what to call right off the bat.
That's a big break for Eastern Oregon early on. High backfield now for the Mountaineers. Nivey dropping back, setting up, looking left and flaring it out. Incomplete off the fingertips of Phil Nivey.
That really is the case for PLU. They'll blitz no matter what.
2nd down. Nivey stepping up in the pocket, gets hit. He's down at the 15-yard line. The Lutes got to him and drop him for a loss of 5. In 15 now, the Mountaineers back at the 15-yard line. Lutes stunting around. They're going to come with the blitz. They do. They give it to Alcock in the middle. Breaks 1 tackle. Gets to the 20 up to the 25-yard line. Alcock will have 10 yards, but he's still going to...
Where the last couple of weeks, some of those physical backs have gone right through some arm tackles.
Eastern Oregon almost not having enough guys in the field. They finally bring their 11th man on now. Setzer to punt it from his own 15. Takes 1 step, almost had it blocked. Comes down to Berghoff at the 40-yard line, and he's tripped down immediately. So Berghoff, no place to
see him get in there anyways.
Lutes with a slot left. McDevitt goes in motion now left to right. Givety on the right as Chad Johnson rolls left to throw. Gets some pressure. Steps to his left. Fires down the left side. Incomplete. Had McDevitt down there at the Eastern Oregon.
Dropping linebackers rather than the quarterback having to scramble around.
Givety left. McDevitt and Weller to the right. Binger the single setback on 2nd down and 10 from the 41-yard line. Chad looks it over. Short drop, looking down the middle, got a man complete to Brown at the 45. Kyle spins down to the 40-yard line before he's brought down. 1st down and 10 as Givety and McDevitt go to the right and Weller to the left. Chad looking it over again, maybe changing the play here at the line of scrimmage. Going to give inside to Binger, and he trips down as he gets inside the 40 at about the 37-yard line.
Long ways.
Brown into the game. Kyle split wide to the right this time. Tight end on the left is Paul Smith. Chad up under center. Taking the snap, backpedaling, setting up in the pocket, dumps it down the middle, up the fingertips of Paul Smith at the 35-yard line. The Lutes here, 3rd down and 7 from the Eastern Oregon 38-yard line. 4 wide receivers, 3 of them to the right. In the shotgun is Chad, waiting at the 43. Backpedals and sets up. Gets pressure, dumps the screen, down at the Binger at the 40-yard line, slips down at the 36. Aaron just kind of lost his footing as he for field goals on fourth down. They go for it, and they will right here, 4th and 7 from the 37-yard line. Brown goes to the left, McDevitt to the right. Ian Handley is the single setback. Here's Brown in motion left to right through the formation. Chad up under center. Rolling to his right, penalty marker down. Chad may run, cuts back to the 35, then dumps it down the middle. It is caught at the 28-yard line. That would be enough for a Alcock again, the single setback. Now man in motion, left to right. Nibey rolling right, getting pressure, being chased, fires. It is caught at the 48-yard line and going out of bounds.
I'm a little too aggressive after the throw.
That's a big 15-yarder and gives the Mountaineers first down at the 37. They give inside to Alcock, and he bangs his way down to about the 34-yard line. Second down. They pitch back to Hanrahan. He gets one block, slices through at the 30, 25, down the sidelines, 20, and Hanrahan is finally belted out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. 10, Eastern Oregon at the BLU 13-yard line. Backs in the eye. Nibey rolling right, setting up, flares it out there, incomplete. Threw it off the hands of his brother Phil down at the 10. Park Stadium will break away. Our score after one, PLU 14. Long count by Nibey. Play fakes and rolls to his right. Gets some pressure and throws, and it is incomplete down at the 5-yard line. 24 yards to go from the 29-yard line now. Lutz stunting around. They play fake inside. They give to the fullback, and he doesn't have too much. He does blast it down to about the 25-yard line.
In this league.
Pritchett to the left. Phil Nibey to the right. Chuck Nibey straight back. Now he's going to roll to his right, gets to the corner, may run. He lobs it down there in the end zone. It's batted in the air and is caught for a touchdown. It went off the hands of one receiver.
2 Eastern Oregon receivers, and each of the Eastern Oregon receivers got their hands on the ball. So,
26 yards, I think. Well, Mountaineers completing a 59-yard drive in 5 plays with a 26-yard touchdown pass from brother to brother. Chuck to Phil Nibey on the deflection. And here's the kickoff by Setzer. High and very short. It'll be Ramirez at the 18-yard line, angling right to the 20. Trying to get to the corner. 25 does, to the 30 and up to the 32-yard line is Mike Ramirez today. But 73 yards and a touchdown, covering some 44 yards. First and 10, Lutz from their own 32-yard line as Chad takes a look at the defense, then goes up under center. A play fake to Ramirez. Chad to throw. Down the middle, got his man, complete at the 35 to the 37-yard line. Wrestled off his feet there with a ball for Pacific Lutheran.
88 as well.
So second down. Gimity split wide to the left. Ramirez, the slot man on that side. And they give up the left side to Binger at the 40-yard line. He knifes through up to about the 43, and that should be enough for back into his starting role. The senior from Ferndale and co-captain at right tackle. First and 10 from the 44 now for the Lutz. Tie ball game at 14 here with 12:45 left to go second quarter. Chad backpedals, sets up. Trying to set up the screen, can't do it in time. He's knocked down a drop back at the 32-yard line.
Running back before he gets sacked.
Lutz go to the spread offense now, second down and 20. In motion goes McDevitt, right to left. Chad stepping up in the pocket, now getting chased, brought down from behind and dumped at the 27-yard line is Chad Johnson. At 28 yards to go for the Lutz, as they have Weller and McDevitt split to the left and Givney far to the right. And they're going to give inside to Handley, and Handley steps over a man at the 25, gets to the 30 and up to the 34-yard line for a pickup of about 8 as Lutz
away before you end up getting sacked, so you can keep it a more manageable play selection.
Ryan Mahan waits deep. A little bit of pressure on Seth as he hits it end over end. It'll bounce at the Eastern Oregon 35 and will go out of bounds at about the 31 or the 30-yard line. 85-85. Nibey has his backs in the eye now as he pitches to Hanrahan, who steps over a man at the line of scrimmage and then gets dumped hard at the 33-yard line after a pickup of 2. Well, it's interesting to see what...
Pretty good, and new guys can come in and fill the role of a guy that had done quite well before.
Give inside to Alcock. Nothing there this time as the Lutz shut it down very well. Joey Mertlich, Jason...
So just establish that running game each first and second down.
Pritchett and Hanrahan to the left, Phil Nibey to the right. Third and long, Chuck Nibey, quick drop, looks down the middle, fires, it's batted in the air and complete. Try to go over the middle and
optimistic on those types of plays, and it just seems like any play now he's going to pick one of those off.
Setzer stands back at his 20-yard line for the Lutes. Devin Pierce and Seth Berghoff waiting at around the PLU 35. Setzer gets a good snap. Penalty marker is down as he hits it a mile high and booms a good one. Driving Berghoff back inside the 20. It's going to bounce inside the 10, inside the 5, and go into the end zone for a touchback. That kick, by the way, good for 60.
Had about like a 90-yard punt once when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, that one was a true long punt by Setzer, but he has to step back to the 20 this time. And gets it away. This one's higher and shorter. It's going to bounce at the 48-yard line, go high in the air. The Lutes are going to have to let it bounce now inside the 40. And it will be touchdown at about the PLU 38-yard line. The one thing we really haven't seen too much is the single setback behind Chad Johnson. They've got a trip set to the right with Weller, Brown, and McDevitt all to that side, the short side of the field. Chad looks right and pumps, and he gets dumped hard inside the 30-yard line. Couldn't get.
You can go down and get level number 2 when you're blocking.
Back in the shotgun is Chad now at the 25-yard line. A couple of wide receivers to the left against a 4-man rush. Chad fires down the middle, got it complete at the 35-yard line. Aaron Binger on the reception, but good.
Throw the screen pass. Try to throw it away a little bit so you don't take a big loss.
3rd and 13. In motion goes Brown right to left. 3 wide receivers onto that side as Chad rolls to his left, shakes a defender, fires, incomplete. Undershot McDevitt at midfield. It bounced to Todd.
As he was used to. Seems like Chad hasn't been stepping into his passes quite as much the last few throws.
And Ryan Mahan waiting back there deep. Punt is a low line drive, comes to Ryan at his own 35, trying to make it to the corner, does. 40, 45 up the left sideline, 50, and finally knocked out of bounds across the way from us at the PLU 4. And finally get the stop the clock for a moment as they get the change set on the far side of the field from the PLU 43-yard line. Eastern Oregon, good position, 1st down and 10 as they split Pritchett wide to the right. Everybody else pretty much in tight, man in motion. They give inside to Alcock, and he's got some yardage this time inside the 40. He busts it down to about the.
Rather have the quarterback keep the ball so they can plug that up in the middle and allow Nibby to get around the corner. They'll be happy.
2nd down at about 4 as they again give inside, and the fullback's got a 1st down. Alcock. High backs now for Nibby and company, and he pitches to Hanrahan, who slices off left tackle and gets inside the 30 down to about the 26. Berghoff, so Blakeney in there now at one of the safety spots. 2nd down and 6. Nibby play fakes and sets up. Looks back to his left, fires, got a man wide open at the 20. That's Phil Nibby to the 15, down to the 10, and dives to about the 8-yard line. Does offset eye. Phil Nibby goes out of the backfield in motion. They give inside. Fumble the football. It's loose. The Lutes after it. Let's see. Big scramble for it at the 15-yard line. PLU says they have the football, and it is Eastern Oregon football at the 16-yard line. Long count by Nibby. Man in motion is Hanrahan. Nibby going to pitch back. They're looking for a pass on the reverse. Fires up the left sideline. Intercepted at the 10-yard line. Up to the 15 to the 16-yard line with the pickoff for PLU. Well, you can't get a little too complicated even for your own guys, and I think that's what happened there as the pass was underthrown. Here's the give to Binger off the left side. No place to go, but he gets by one man, gets by another, and squirms his way out across the 20 to about the 21-yard.
Establish the running game again.
Split backs this time. 2 wide receivers set to the left. They are Ramirez and Brown. Jess Nelson, the tight end on the right. They give up the left side to Hanley. Coughs the football up. It's loose. Big scramble for it. And I think the Lutes got the football and enough for a 1st down, and they did. 10 at their own 34-yard line. Hanley and Binger again the setbacks as they send McDevitt to the left. In motion, McDevitt. Chad play faking and rolling, stepping up in the pocket, fires it, got it complete to McDevitt across the 45, and he's finally brought down at the 45-yard line as Todd McDevitt after a pickup of 11 yards and another. Chad sends wide receivers Weller and Gibbity to the left. Binger the single setback, and Chad raising up, maybe changing the play on audible here. He's going to give inside to Binger. Blast through 45, down to the 46-yard line, across midfield and down to the 1 now as McDevitt comes, check that, it's Brown to the near side, and Ramirez in the slot left. Boots at the Eastern Oregon 44, pitch around the left side, goes to Binger, sidesteps one man, but dives only down to the 48. He's going to lose a yard. Over 2 minutes left to go in this first half. Ramirez slotted right, inside of Kyle Brown, the wide receiver to that side. Tight end on the left is Jess Nelson. Split backs are Binger and Hadley. Long count by Chad. Gives inside to Hanley. He fakes it to Hanley. Pitches to Binger. Binger's around the corner. 30, 25, 15, 10, 5. Binger is knocked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Chad Johnson, boy, did he fake everybody.
See that Aaron Binger went out at the 5.
First down and goal, PLU, the Eastern Oregon 5-yard line. Split backs now with a slot to the right against a 6-man front for Eastern Oregon. Here's the turn and give off the left side to Ramirez on the sweep. Gets to the 10, to the 5, goes for the corner. He's in. Touchdown, PLU. Mike Ramirez takes it in from 5 yards out. We got a penalty flag down, though. Penalty flag down on the play. And I think that's going to wipe out the score. Let's see. It's against PLU.
So there really isn't much of a need to hold.
Weller and McDevitt to the left. Kevin Gibney to the right. Binger is the sole setback. Chad backpedaling. Setting up the screen down the middle. Goes to Brown. Cuts back at the 10-yard line. Kyle is down at the 9-yard line after a pickup of about 6. This time, Kyle Brown lines up as a tight end on the left. Hanley is the lone setback. Play fake to him. Johnson to throw. In the end zone to Brown. Got it! Touchdown, PLU. Kyle Brown makes a diving reception 3 yards deep in the left corner.
Well, Chad Johnson ends up starting the play with a little play action to Aaron Binger, a little fake there. And Kyle Brown, the only receiver on the backside. It's kind of an isolation.
Catch by Kyle Brown puts the Lutes back out on top with just over a minute left to play now in the first half. And for BLU, Scott Sorensen on to try the point after, and it's deflected and taken by one of the Eastern Oregon defenders. He's going to try to run it back, gets to the 10 and to about the 12-yard line. So the point after try will be no good, and we'll take a timeout. We've been 14. An 82-yard drive in 8 plays at Chad Johnson to Kyle Brown, 9-yard touchdown pass to cap it off. Scott hits it end over end on the near sideline of McDaniels, who will take it at the 8-yard line, back up the middle of the 15 to the 20. Penalty marker down on the play, and boy, McDaniels got drilled. Nibey up under center. Give inside to the fullback, who's got some room, and that's Alcock blasting it out across the 20 to the 23-yard line.
They're trying to keep going here.
Pritchett left, Bill Nibey to the right. Chuck Nibey dropping back to the 15. Looks right and fires way over the head of Phil Nibey. Incomplete. Tyler Shillito on the coverage. Now the Mountaineers trying to work quickly with 44 seconds to go in the half. Second down and 10. Nibey setting up with good protection. Fires the bomb down the right side. Intercepted by Tyler Shillito to the 45 to the 40. Down the near sidelines, knocked out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. Receivers all set to the right with Gibney to the left. And again, Chad standing 5 yards behind the center. And we got some movement from the offensive right tackle.
They go to a different formation here the second time.
Trip sent, 3 wide receivers right. McDevitt to the left, and Chad is up under center, Matt Nichols. On first down, rolling left. Pumping, looking back right, firing the bomb out there, got Gibney in the area. He makes the catch at the 20. He's ridden down at the 17-yard line. Kevin Gibney on a great toss from Chad Johnson. That one will go for 43 yards. Right, to the left go McDevitt and Kevin Gibney. Chad is up under center now as Brown goes in motion right to left. Long count by Chad. Setting up, looks right, fires to Weller, incomplete, trying to make a diving grab at the 5-yard line. Receivers with Weller to the right, and McDevitt and Gibney to the left. Chad in the shotgun this time, waiting on the snap, backpedals, sets up, down the middle, throws, caught at the 10-yard line to the 5, down near the 1-yard line is Aaron Binger. They say he stepped out though. Chad has Binger behind him. Couple of wide receivers to the right. First down and goal from the 5. In motion goes McDevitt, left to right. Play fake to Binger. Chad to throw. Flares it out. Got it. McDevitt dives to the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, BLU. Todd McDevitt stretching it out. He got it across the plane for 6.
Well, that's all you need to do. You just need to have the ball cross the plane. And a couple of Eastern Oregon guys a little upset at that because when he actually hit the ball on the ground, it squirted away from him. But that's all you need to do, and he did it, so touchdown.
They try for 2. Hanley and Binger, the setbacks. Ramirez and Gibney, the wide receivers to the left. Ramirez in motion. They're going to play fake to him. Chad to throw. He's rolling left. He may run or throw. He fires over the head of Jess Nelson at the back end line of the end zone, incomplete. Unofficially in 5 plays. And the 5-yard touchdown pass from Chad Johnson to Todd McDevitt.
Well, the Lute's getting a lot of mileage off that play. And actually, my math's a little wrong because I guess they were only down 6 before that also.
It is 26-14 PLU with 11 seconds to play in a half. As Scott Sorensen will hit it. And does so with the right foot. A line drive, bouncing inside the 20. Inside the 10-yard line, it's Hanrahan, I believe, to the 20, 25-yard line up to the 30. And boy, did he get drilled at about the 35-yard line. AI National Championship, and we'll talk with a member of that team back for homecoming today here at halftime. Meanwhile, a kneel down for Chuck. And Aaron, you want to go right to the spotlight show, I guess, after this break. Then and here's the kickoff. It's going to come down to Pitzer at his own 6-yard line. Chris will angle left and try to get to the corner. He's cut off there. Gets to the 10, up to the 15-yard line, and driven out of bounds.
They're going to be able to mold and gel and be able to work together and be running on full cylinders as the season winds up.
Slot to the left, and now things break down as there's some movement along the offense.
A little different cadence, so sometimes I can throw off an offensive lineman.
Ramirez slotted to the left inside of Gibney. Ramirez goes in motion now. The hand inside. It's to Hanley, and Ian gets cut down as he crosses the line of scrimmage, but is
thinking on a lot of maybe experience that other sets and blocking patterns need.
McDevitt and David Weller to the right. Kevin Gibney to the left. His stun is on for Eastern Oregon. They give inside to Binger, and he gets cut down right at the line of scrimmage. He got undercut.
If you can get by that first line, it can be a big play.
Chad in the shotgun with Binger alongside. 3 wide receivers in the game. Chad setting up. Gets some pressure. Fires down the middle. Got him McDevitt across the 25. Todd spins to the 30-yard line for the first down as he picks up 16. Smith's going to split a couple of yards to the left in this formation now. And they go to McDevitt and Kyle Brown on the right. Play faking, rolling right is Chad. Stepping up now, may run with the football. Gets to the 30, caught from behind is Chad, and rolls forward to about the 32-yard line. 3 wide receivers here on 2nd down and 8 from the 31. In motion goes McDevitt right to left through the formation. Here comes the blitz by Eastern Oregon. The Lutes pick it up. Chad firing the bomb down the middle. Man out there, incomplete, just off the fingertips of Aaron Vick. 8 as Brown will go left. Chad's in the spread offense, sending McDevitt in motion. Eastern Oregon will rush with 3. Chad looking down the middle and has his man batted up in the air, incomplete. As he had the football that time to Kyle Brown, I believe it was Seth Berghoff to punt. A low line drive. Ryan Mann moves up on the ball, takes it on the run at the 40-yard line, and gets up to about the 43.
Nice.
Nivey with Alcock, the single setback now as he sends a man in motion. And he pitches out around the corner to Hanrahan. Gets to the 45. Hanrahan up to midfield before he's rolled off his ball. Slot man to either side now. With Pritchett, the wide receiver, all right. They give inside to the fullback, Alcock, and he's got a couple of yards down to about. They pitch to Hanrahan, who busts it up the middle. He's got room inside the 45 down to the 40. Joey Mertlich makes
it's like Nivey pitches, and he's turning around looking if he can be a lead blocker.
That's not too far from the truth either. The quarterback's been doing some blocking. He runs the option here, though, does Nivey, and gets cut down as he gets inside the 40-yard line. Down to moving right to left are the Mountaineers in this third quarter. And Nibey doesn't like what he sees as he looks to the far sidelines. He wasn't sure everybody had gotten the play call correctly, and he's going to call for a timeout right here. And trailing by a score of 26-14 early in this third quarter. You go to I-backs behind Chuck Nibey, Alcock and Hanrahan. And a long count this time as he pitches to Hanrahan, and Hanrahan knifes it up the middle inside the 35-yard line, down close to the third. Alcock and Hanrahan, the backs in the eye behind Nibey. Lute stunting around, and they almost drew him off, and now Nibey takes the snap. Penalty markers are down. And let's see here. Lute stunting around once again. Nibey, long count, sends a man in motion, gives inside Alcock, and he finds some room, and the big guy barrels inside the 20 down to the 16-yard line.
Fusion for Eastern Oregon's front.
Nibey pitches back to Hanrahan off the right side. He's going to get down to the 15, but that's it. Lute's had it pretty well. Takes it about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage and tries to pick out a hole.
And it seems like the ball's in the air about 2 yards, though, by his extension and the guy running, that it's quick pitch.
And here's the pitch out off the right side. They get it to the 10 and down to about the 8-yard line as he pitched out, and coming around the corner was Keith at tailback in the eye. Nibey play faking, got to go back to pass, looking, fires, bat in the air, incomplete, down inside the 5-yard line, intended for Phil. Once again, Nibey with Alcock and Hanrahan behind him. And a man in motion right to left. Nibey runs the option. He'll take it up and in, touchdown Eastern Oregon. Nibey taking it over from the 2-yard line.
It's option.
And here's the point after try now by Setzer. Placed down, kick is plenty strong, on the way and good. And a timeout. Lute's in their first possession of the second half, not able to move, and Eastern Oregon took it in. End over end kick by Setzer, drives Chris Pitzer back to the goal line. It's going to go into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. And Lute's will start at their own 20-yard line. So Binger and Hanley the setbacks now. As wide right goes Gibney. Slot man on the right is Ramirez. Eastern Oregon been doing a little bit more shifting around defensively here to start the second half. They give off the right side to Binger. Breaks a tackle. 25. Gets to the corner 30. Jess Nelson back in there, tight end. He lines up on the left. Full house backfield now. Hanley, Binger, and Ramirez. They give to Ramirez off the left side. Follows the block out in front by Binger and gets to about the 34, 35-yard line. Pick up a... Got 4 wide receivers in there. Gibney left. They've got Weller, McDevitt, Brown lining up in a tight formation on the right. Chad looking it over and taking a lot of time up there as the play clock's down to 2, down to 1. He just did get it off as he hands to Binger. He's in the clear. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, BLU. Aaron Binger will take it to the house. 55 yards to score.
What a great burst of acceleration by Aaron Binger through the line of scrimmage, and then no one was going to catch him. And I was watching Kevin Gibney down the left far sideline right in front of Eastern Oregon. He was pretending like he's running a fade route, a go route. And so Robert Mahan, the return guy that we've seen kind of do some good things on the punt, he was covering him right in his face, thinking that he was going to take away a pass. And Gibney just kind of then put his hands up in the air. And
was in the clear and try to get the angle on him, but they didn't realize it until much too late. Here's the kick. The point after it is on the way up and good. Oregon 21. What are they doing down there? They can't be pulling this thing because it's going to rip right out of the machine here in a minute. An electrifying 55-yard touchdown run by Aaron Binger. 80 yards, just 2 plays on the drive, and the Lutes stretched that lead once again out to 12 now, 33 to 21. As waiting back there deep will be Hanrahan, and also waiting there is Leon McDaniels. It's McDaniels who'll take it in at his own 4-yard line. Off the middle of the 15, McDaniels tries to get to the corner right and does, to the 25 to the 30, and ridden out of bounds at about the 31-yard line.
Really, really quickly, and a nice job by Aaron Binger in getting him the ball on the ground.
and a penalty on the kickoff, so they put it back at the 15 where Eastern Oregon starts. And they give in the middle, and there's absolutely nothing there. So second down and 9 here for Eastern Oregon with the football just across the 15-yard line. They give to the big guy, Alcock, and he's bouncing around and blasting through tacklers across the 25.
It's jumping on top of them, and you wonder if they're going to die.
It's a dream for about 30 or 40 yards. It's kind of a nightmare after that. Here's the pass, intercepted by PLU. Devin Pierce to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Devin Pierce cutting back at the 5-yard line. He's done at the 1. Interception of the day. First and goal, PLU, the Eastern Oregon 3-yard line, full house backfield. Ramirez, Hanley, and Binger for Chad Johnson. Double tight ends. Jess Nelson on the left, Paul Smith on the right. Play fake. Chad looks to throw. Still looking. Fires in the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, PLU. Paul Smith hauls it in. 9 yards deep at the back of the end zone.
Well, PLU used to be famous for throwing the ball near the goal line, and actually, all of a sudden, teams would start to play a little zone. And there, Paul Smith was just waiting, and Chad had him, and he kept shuffling with them, and really a great play call and another quick scoring drive there by PLU.
And for Chad Johnson, that is his 4th touchdown pass of the day. Scott Sorensen with a point after, on the way, and good. 21. Well, just when you think this Lute offense might finally bog down, they come up with another huge play defensively to set the offense up with a 3-yard drive on the 3-yard touchdown pass from Chad Johnson. Here's Sorensen's kickoff. McDaniels will take it, fumbles at the 10-yard line, picks it up on a bounce, and gets to the 20, and then is smothered right there. But Chad Johnson, his 4th touchdown pass, and I'll tell you,
You'd think it was a lot closer game than that, and it really probably boils down to about 3 or 4 plays so far.
here's the give inside on the fullback, has 5 yards, does Alcock. It's the lead now out to 40-21 over Eastern Oregon, but the Mountaineers have shown the ability to make big yards, and they give to the fullback once again, and he's got another 7 up across the 30 to about.
Aspect of PLU football that, hey, a guy makes a play and he may come out for a little while.
Getting a breather is Devin Pierce, at least for the time being, and Nibby may be changing the line play at the line of scrimmage here. Hands to Alcock, and boy, Mike Moss, Joey Mertlich were both right there to smother him for a loss of about a yard. Brett Pritchett, and they give inside, and again, absolutely nothing. They closed it down completely. Ben McGran with 3 wide receivers to the left now for Nibby. In motion right, they give inside, and breaking away is Alcock at the 40-45. He may go. He's at the PLU 30. He's to the 20, and he's going to go all the way. Alcock will go the distance, 75 yards for a touchdown. He broke it away off the right side.
All game, and just a lot of scoring.
And here's the point after try by Chris Setzer. Going to go for 2, and they get to the 5, and near the goal line and in is the quarterback on the play, at least the quarterback on that little feed version. So Eastern Oregon, just like that, they go from their own 20, a 75-yard touchdown run, and a 2-point conversion makes it 40 now to 29.
Well, it wasn't apparent to me whether that was just a botched snap.
Bottles and cooler service for a month. Call 1-800-232-7332. So again, the Mountaineers just not going to die. They keep coming back, and they trail now by just 11 points. A high end-over-end short kick will come down to Ramirez. He'll keep it, go around the right side, 25-30. Ramirez cuts back, gets to the 35-yard line, and piles on out to the 38-yard line, does Mike Ramirez. In that scoreboard today, we may blow this thing out before this day is over. 40-29, but we're still here in the 3rd quarter. Trip set left for the Lutes. Up under center is Chad Johnson. And looking it over. A 4-man front for Eastern Oregon. Chad will roll to his left to throw. Sets up. He's going to fire the ball. Now they got a man. McDevitt out in front. He's got it. 20, 10, touchdown PLU. Todd McDevitt makes the reception and goes in for 6.
It's the same play we saw earlier, referred to as the backs across, where the safety's got to make a decision. He went and took Kevin Gibney. Todd McDevitt, nobody there. And you said the last touchdown pass was Chad's 4th. Now he's thrown 5 in the record is 6 touchdown passes in a game. So he's closing into that record.
He is indeed. Chad, that is a curve. 62 yards. And here's the point after try by Sorensen. This one is up, and it is good. And we've got another time. Seven to 29 after the 62-yard touchdown pass from Chad Johnson to Todd McDevitt. And Scott Sorensen hits it end over end. It'll come down to the near side to Hanrahan at the 15-yard line. Gets to the 20 and gets drilled hard at about the 24-yard line. Virtually unstoppable offensively again this week as they lead it now 47-29. Here's the pitch back to Hanrahan, and he's got a yard to about the 26-yard line. Really is. And the Lutes have made their share of big plays defensively today too, especially the 4 pass interceptions. And this time Nivey fakes the inside dive and then keeps it himself. That's a play that he likes to run, but the Lutes
reception away from tying that.
And Pierce is back in there, by the way, at the corner position. Here's Nivey setting up to throw, getting some pressure, and fires it. Got it complete. That's Geske, who's cut down at the 40-yard line. Looks like long count. Nivey going to run the option left. He's going to be dragged down from behind at the 34-yard line. Second down at 14. Nivey will give inside. There's a fumble. It's loose. Lutes are after it. They've got the football. PLU on the recovery at the 36-yard line. Let's see who gets off the stack. Lutes have the football. Joey Mertlick comes over the trip set right this time. Weller, McDevitt out to that side of the field along with Brown. Chad's going to roll right, may run. Fires down the middle, got it. Devitt at the 5. He's knocked down at the 3-yard line. Here is also in there as they go to the full house backfield. Will they go with that sweep play once again? We'll find out here. Chad taking a lot of time, turns and barks something out to his running backs. Quarterback keeper right in the middle. Chad Johnson down close to the goal line, inside the 1, but did not quite go in. Just a quick snap and a following of his center met. Again, the full house backfield on 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. Chad, quick snap this time. He's going to hand off to Binger. Touchdown, PLU off right tackle. Aaron Binger untouched.
A little crossbuck action out of that full house backfield. Fakes one way, gives back to Aaron Binger going the other way, and really there was a huge hole in there.
There was indeed. Binger takes it in. And for Aaron Binger, that's his 2nd rushing touchdown of the day. He also has it and comes on. Tyler Teeple places it down. Sorensen's kick is plenty strong, and it's right through. And so the Lutes have stretched that lead out to 25 points now, 54-29. So we're just into this 4th quarter. And we'll get you caught up on some of the scores of other games here in just a moment. Scott Sorensen hits it end over end. It'll come down to the 10-yard line, to the 15. And angling, turning around and heading back the other way as the ball carrier is going to be caught at the 10-yard line and drilled hard and goes down. Jeremy Franz, I don't know what he was thinking there, started to his left and just decided.
Eastern Oregon's going to have to drive a long way to score.
Back at the 10-yard line is where they'll begin. Nivey sends a man in motion. Going to run the option left as Nivey got a little bit of room and gets cut down as he crosses the 15-yard line. Benji Sonicson making the leading Southern Oregon by a score of 14-7. Of course, the Huskies play tonight at 7 o'clock against Oregon State at Husky Stadium. Second down and 5 here. Long count by Nibby as the Lutes pinch in with about 4 guys up there, and they get him. Mike Moss again makes the play on the big fullback and brings him down after a pickup of maybe,
which BLU has done quite effectively to Eastern Oregon's DBs.
Third down, less than a yard. And pitch back to Hanrahan, and he busts it through at the 25 and then gets belted from the side and goes down at about the 26-yard line. So Hanrahan can have on both defense and offense, and they are right here. As Nibby runs the pitch and pitches it out to his right, got some room, 30, 35, and down the sidelines out of bounds. And about the 36-yard line with the football that time is
much of a backward pitch relationship.
Alcock, the single setback. Nibby looking over that BLU defense, a 5-man, 6-man front now as Nibby gives inside to the fullback Alcock, and he is able to pull forward for a couple of yards up to about the 30
in the World League and with the NFL. And 2 people also have had 4 interceptions. Not only did Scotty Kessel, but Greg Coleman did as well.
Running the option left is Nibby. Going to keep the ball, and he gets dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Luke's played it well. I mean, it has not been the case the last couple of weeks. Second down and less than a yard to go now from the 44-yard line after the penalty stepped off. They pitch back to Hanrahan, and he goes off the left side, finds some room, 45, down to the BLU 40, still going. Finally dragged down from behind is Hanrahan at the BLU 33-yard line. So here's at the BLU 34-yard line with 11:28 left to go in the game. Hanrahan in motion. Nibby gives inside to the fullback, and not too much there.
Ball and trying to score a little quicker than long sustained drives.
Second down and 9. Lutes with 6 guys up there. Nibby gives inside, and there's the big fullback barreling his way down to the 20-yard line. Alcock has the first down. Joey Mertley from Oregon, the BLU 20. They pitch back to Hanrahan off the left side, and he's going to knife forward for a couple of yards down to about the 17. Luke Gerhardt was there. Lutes trying to jump around defensively and change things up, and Nibby might be doing just that as he calls down to either side of the offensive line. Now back under center. Sends a man in motion and gives to Alcock inside. And Alcock's got a couple down inside the 15 to about the 13. Been comfortably in the bank or not at this point. Third down and 3. Nibby given inside, and I don't think they got it this time. The Lutes had it well shut down between the guards. Folker was there once again on the stop. Next down, 4th down. Lutes going to try and hold right here. Hanrahan and Alcock. Nibby pitches to Hanrahan. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he springs forward down to the 7-yard line. In Oregon at the BLU 8. Nibby going to pitch back to Hanrahan, and he'll blast it down to the 5-yard line. Unefficient I-backs, Alcock, Hanrahan. Running the option is Nibby, trying to cut back, does at the 5, now pitches out. Whoa, if that's a touchdown, if that wasn't a forward lateral.
Upset very often with the officials, but he had to take the headset off so Rick Brown couldn't hear his yelling in the ears. Because he's
at 36. Down on the option, and here's the end over end kick by Setzer. Will come down to Chris Pitzer. He'll give on the reverse to Ramirez, going from left to right around the corner. 20, 25, 30. Ramirez 35. He finally spins down to the 37-yard line. Good return on the reverse as Pitzer hands it to Ramirez, going from left to right. And Mike,
but they elect to kick the ball deep, and so PLU now is going to get the ball at the 37 anyways.
Hanrahan, by the way, the guy credited with that 5-yard pitch for the touchdown to cap the drive moments ago. Split backs now, first down. In motion goes Ramirez. Chad back to throw, pumping, looking, firing the bomb, has a man out in front, diving, try incomplete at the 20-yard line as it was on the fingertips on 2nd and 10 from the 38. Chad has Weller and McDevitt left, Givney to the right. And they give inside to Binger, and he's all jammed up. He'll lose a couple back to the 35-yard line. He'll set back as they line up Brown in the slot right, and he goes in motion right to left. Here comes the blitz. Chad rolling left to throw, has good protection, and fires, and it's caught by McDevitt. He gets away from a tackler, finally dumped to the 48-yard line. That should be a good enough for a first down. Brown goes right, McDevitt left. Chad short drop, looking, firing, got his man Brown. He's brought down after he makes the grab inside the 40, down at the 37-yard line. That's a pickup of 13. 26-14 at halftime, and Eastern Oregon cut that lead to 26-21. But then the Lutes have come out and scored on virtually every offensive possession since. 3 wide receivers to the right. Chad, the spread offense here. And some movement off the right side. Looked like McDevitt may have crossed the line of scrimmage too soon. Jumped the snap count. We'll go back to the shotgun with the trip set right. Eastern Oregon with a 5-man front. They rush 4. Chad down the middle. Got Binger complete at midfield. He spins down to the 47-yard line. Aaron Binger on the reception. That'll be good for 15 yards. Split backs now. Second down for the Lutes. Hanley and Binger behind Chad Johnson. Chad looking left. Says a man in motion. That's Ramirez. Give off the left side to Hanley. Got a hold. 40, 35. Ian Hanley to the 30 and finally rumbles all the way down to the 26-yard line. Ian Hanley on that run. Pretty good shots they took as Hanley gets 21 on the carry. 1st and 10 at the Eastern Oregon 26-yard line. Man in motion, Ramirez. They play fake to him. Chad down the middle. Got his man Binger at the 15. Knocked down at the 10-yard line is Aaron Binger. That's another first down. So Ramirez joins Hanley and Binger behind Chad Johnson. Clock runs with 4:05 left to play. Chad Johnson, quarterback keeper. He'll dive down to about the 6-yard line. Second down. Ramirez in a slot left inside of Gibney. Chad turning and running the option. Pitches out. Binger, he's in the end zone. Touchdown, PLU. Untouched goes Binger, the final 6 yards for the score.
Well, they're the option which Eastern Oregon has run quite effectively earlier. None more effectively than that, where Chad has had a couple of really great pitches to Aaron Binger. And the option obviously meaning that he has the option to run.
Snap to Tyler Teeple, a low one, but he puts it down and Sorensen boots it through. I saved some of these touchdowns for later in the season, I think. Over 150 yards rushing and also 6 receptions for 72. Here's the kickoff by Scott Sorensen. That's McDaniel at the 4. Angling left to the 15 to the 20. And caught from behind it, drops at about the 22 is McDaniel. Total offense for PLU. And Linfield and PLU combined for 1,000 yards of total offense last week. And we're almost there again today with these two teams. Given the middle of the fullback who rumbles across the 25 up to about 8. Second down and 5. And running the option is Nivey faked everybody out. Pitches to the corner. Gets around the 35 to about the 36-yard line. And 2:25 left to play in the game. May and the little guy at 5'7" running the attack now for the Mountaineers. And he gives inside and the fullback carries across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Alcock will slot man to either side, man in motion. They give inside to Alcock one more time. He's ridden back after he picks up maybe a yard. Lutz the other safety. Third down here for Eastern Oregon from the 43. Running the option is Mahan. Dives out across the 45 to the 48-yard line. That should be enough to move the chains. He picks up about 6.
To sprint all the way to the sideline to verbally get what the play is because they are doing no huddle still.
From the 48. Mahan running the option and pitches out. Big fumble. Ball loose. Scramble for it back at the 43. And we'll see as they unstack now who's got it. Meanwhile, the clock continues to roll with 40 seconds left to go in the game. The Lutes say they've got the football. And officials say
position underneath the pile.
Well, those Lutes cheerleaders have been known to do push-ups when the team scores touchdowns and push-ups in the number of points scored. Well, we'd have a lot more injuries down there today if had they decided to do that. No push-ups. Thank goodness for the cheerleaders and the others down below. And over 100 yards rushing, but the Lutz defense also 4 pass interceptions on the afternoon, 3 of them by Devin Pierce. And the Lutz come away with a very impressive victory. So it's over here at Sparks Stadium. We'll come back in a moment with the postgame show. Our final score, PLU 61, Eastern Oregon 36.